Welcome to 101 Part-Time Jobs with me, Giles Bidder. I've got Benke from Stockholm's Viagra Boys with us today. I spoke to him on the telephone all about how he's a carpenter and how that's something that's obviously saved him this year while the band haven't been able to tour. He tells me about the bigger moments for Viagra Boys over the years and how they've made their third album. They've written and recorded their third album in lockdown, the one Beyond Welfare Jazz, which is coming out on the 8th of January, featuring the John Prine cover you can hear in the background of this, starring Amy from Amyl and the Sniffers. So there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to listen to here. If you like 101 Part-Time Jobs, if you keep on coming back to these episodes, please recommend it to a friend. And if there's someone that you want to hear on the show, I'm on Twitter at 101 Part-Time Pod or Instagram at 101 Part-Time Jobs Podcast. Let me know who you want to get on here and we'll try and make it happen. East London's Signature Brew have been brewing music-inspired beers since 2011. They've made beers with Mastodon, Idols, Slaves, Sports Team, Darkness this Christmas with their beer Bell's End. If you go onto their website, signaturebrew.co.uk, you can get your beers delivered straight to your door this Christmas. With the voucher code 101podcast, you get 10% off. All right, this is 101 Part-Time Jobs with Benke from Viagra Boys. If you like it, please share it. That would be massively appreciated. Viagra Boys' second album, Welfare Jazz, is coming out on the 8th of January. Hope everyone's having a good Christmas. Go well. Cheers!
She thinks all my jokes are corny. Convict movies make her horny.
Benke, thanks so much for being up for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I like to speak to bands about, what they do outside of playing in the band, because obviously, when you dig a band and you go see them play, you've got the record, you got the artwork, and then you see them, on stage with their stage persona or whatever you want to call it. But obviously there's so much that goes in, there's so much other stuff that goes into making that, right?
Yeah, of course. There's a lot.
And Stockholm, the band in interviews has said that there's a lot of great music, punk or otherwise, in Sweden, in Stockholm. And you were all in bands before Viagra Boys, right?
Yeah, I played in some hardcore punk bands and stuff, mostly stuff like that before.
So how did you work out kind of, giving yourself the time to do that, making yourself the money to be able to tour and not have to make?
Yeah, we never made any money on the tour, so that was more, at that time when I started, I was I was around 25 when I did my first band. I was started touring and stuff. And back then I worked as a shop assistant at a tattoo shop. But then mostly I worked, and then when I, got the holidays and stuff, when everybody else went on vacation, I went on tour.
What were you doing before 25?
What I was doing before?
Yeah.
I don't know. What did I do? I was working, studying some. I played in bands, but we never played any shows and stuff like that.
And obviously, rehearsal and money for practice space and giving yourself the time to do that. I mean, a lot of bands I speak to, it's kind of it's no choice in the front of their brain. They just do it because you want to do it.
Yeah, you want to do it and you have to do it.
Right.
I get, for me at least.
Have you thought much about that?
And I have to do it.
Yeah, where that comes from and how you.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. I have no idea. It's just that for me, music has always been around since I was, since I discovered the Twisted Sister when I was 6 years old or something, 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
And then then I started to play in bands when I was 13, 14 maybe.
And there were local gigs that you could play at and go to and hang out with
we
people.
never played any gigs or so, but then we're local, the hardcore, the Refused and all that stuff was really big in Sweden.
Yeah.
In the 90s, so that was a lot of those kind of shows when I was 14, 15. 16.
I often think about The Shape of Punk to Come because I think it was probably around 2005 that I started getting into that.
All right.
And by that point, it was already pretty, there were quite a few years.
Yeah. 97.
Wow.
That was at the end of my, that when I I didn't listen so much to that record when it came out. I listened to Refused before that record.
And they were a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it was big with the vegan straight edge hardcore thing in it.
Yeah.
And then you had all the skate punks like Millencolin and No Fun at All. And
Did those two types of people hang out?
yeah. It was the same scene for everything.
That must have been really exciting around then.
Yeah, it was really fun shows. Crazy.
It must be interesting coming from a place where there are sort of two kind of real big bands come out of that scene.
Yeah. It was, to me, I was so young. It was like when I was 14, 15.
Yeah.
So you don't understand that much. It's like, oh, shit. And you read the newspaper, there was no internet. So you read the newspaper. Oh, it's going to be you read it in the, daily newspaper in some small ad or something.
That's funny. Do you think did fans of that genre take it well? The fact that they got so popular?
You mean like Refused or Millencolin? Or
both of them?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, Refused broke. They quit before they got big, I guess.
So when you got to 18, to the point or 16, leaving school, what kind of options did you and your mates have?
To me, I didn't even think about future. So I don't know. I got some job at some construction stuff, and and yeah, it was. I didn't. I wasn't that good in school either, or I was never there actually.
I always found when I left school, it was so hard to find jobs around London.
Yeah,
you might get some, but it was kind of, not reliable, I suppose.
No. I guess it could be reliable, but I don't know. If you're 20, it's not the most funnest thing to work at
We just want to drink every day.
Yeah, exactly.
I only just learned to stop doing that.
Yeah, me too.
But it makes you think how, obviously you can't go back. There's no point looking back on those and thinking you should have been more productive, but you do wonder how you get through those years.
To me, it was like I had some kind of different jobs and stuff, and I tried to study at the university. But then I became friends with some tattooers, and then I started to work at a tattoo shop as a tattoo assistant. And that was like a more that was another world, not the normal world where I fitted in, or where I fit in.
Yeah. When I was younger, I always used to think working at a skate shop was kind of the only thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's the same thing, more or less.
Yeah, totally.
With people that are like ourselves, maybe a little bit outside the society.
Still now, sometimes I get confused about, trying to figure my shit out and finding something that I actually, like you said, has that kind of otherworld quality about it.
Yeah. But I think it's becoming much easier when you get older to be in both worlds. I mean, the music world is kind of an outside world too.
Yeah, definitely.
But for me now, I work as a carpenter.
Carpenter, yeah.
Yeah, carpenter. For me now, getting older, it's more okay to be in the both worlds.
Why do you think that is?
I guess you just becoming older, accepting more.
Yeah.
That people are different, and you don't have to be so angry at society.
And especially when you realize that if you can pay your rent, that's nice.
That's very nice. And you can be good at more than one thing. And it's become easier if you quit drinking and doing drugs all the time as well.
Do you still drink?
No, it's occasionally, but not often. 3 times this year.
Wow. I mean, being a carpenter requires quite a lot of training and skill.
Yeah.
When did you get into it? When did you first get into it?
It was I worked at a shop as a shop assistant, as I told you before, and then had a girlfriend. And I worked as a shop assistant for I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years or something. And the natural way after that is to keep, becoming a tattooer. But I didn't want to do that. But my girlfriend wanted to be a tattooer at that time. So I quit it there. I quit at the tattoo shop, the work, and she took over my job as a shop assistant to later become a tattoo artist. And then her father, or not her real father, but her
Stepfather.
Stepfather, yeah. He had like a construction company. So I got a summer job there. That was like 12 years ago. So I started working there, and yeah,
Did you fit in there?
nah, it was okay, you know. But yeah, sometimes I felt that I didn't fit in there, but it was okay. It paid rent, and then I've been doing that from since then.
Were there any points where like it struggled with the band stuff?
How do you mean?
Like when I had jobs and my band was touring, I'd be at work physically, but my brain would just be elsewhere.
Yeah, a lot. And it's even tougher if you go, you play shows on the weekends and you go to different cities in Sweden or whatever. And it's a lot of drinking when you play the music and stuff like that. And you come back and you're going to go up on Monday. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough to work and play at the same time.
I've always thought like it's fucking hard enough as one person, right? Like you or me. And then sometimes it's hard to imagine how 4 or 5 or more people in a band can all do that without driving themselves crazy.
Yeah, I have no idea how people like for me now, when you're getting older, it's getting harder and harder to do that. Or it's not worth the time anymore to do it. If I'm gonna play music, then I just want to play music. If I gonna work, then I mostly just want to work.
Yeah, definitely. But that makes like Viagra Boys are pretty popular. You got your own thing going on. You're not in my opinion, you're not really riding on any kind of trend or fashion that's going to drop instantly. I feel like you got your own thing going on, and given that, as well as the facts that you're popular,
Yeah.
Surely you've thought about dropping the carpentry job.
Yeah, not totally, but it's the best thing is when we tour. Maybe you can tour for 3, 4, 5 months, and then you can work 2, 3 months as a carpenter.
Do you feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah, I like that, doing different kind of stuff. But like for now and the Corona, I have been working for a year, almost. I've been thinking more or less in a year as a carpenter.
Yeah.
So now it starts to suck again.
Are any of your friends musicians or roadies or something like that, where that's their full-time job and they haven't had anything to do this year?
Yeah, I have some that are like, no, but not really. No, most of them got other jobs as well, or like they had to get other jobs now.
Yeah,
Corona.
Yeah. What kind of jobs were they getting in Sweden, in Stockholm?
All kinds of shit jobs, driving food.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now when it's Corona, everybody wants home delivery.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but I think most, yeah. And some, the sound people, I guess they're doing fixing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody survives, but
there's nothing in Sweden where you can get help from the government, is there, as an artist?
Yeah, of course. But I guess it's kind of hard to get a lot of money from it.
Yeah.
Because it's based what you earned.
Yeah.
So it's, if you haven't earned that much the last couple of years or the last year, you can't get that much.
Is that for musicians specifically, or is that everyone?
No, I think mostly for musicians, but for everyone, I don't know how it is with like people who work doing sounds and stuff like that. I heard I just read that they're complaining about it, that they want to get support by the government, but I don't think they have gotten any yet.
Are you quite good with doing that organizational stuff and doing the finances, or doing the planning stuff? You personally?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. I'm okay with it. I'm doing a lot of planning in the bands,
right.
with Viagra Boys. When we started that,
yeah,
I was always like the project manager.
project manager. Yeah.
Yeah, so but now we got a real manager and stuff like that. But before that, I did all that. you know.
Had you done that in bands before
Yeah,
Viagra Boys?
yeah. In the hardcore punk scene, you know, the DIY thing, putting up shows, booked tours, yeah, all that kind of stuff.
And so when Viagra Boys started touring more and, Streetworms kicked off,
Yeah,
was that a funny period of time to you, having put on all those shows and, done everything yourself? Was it quite funny to see it kind of blow up?
yeah, it was very funny. 'Cause, yeah, when I started a band, like I was drunk with Sebastian, our singer, and then we started a band, and I guess nobody really believed in it, but and then it just boom, blowed up.
Can you remember, what was the first moment around then that you thought oh fuck?
That was weird when we played there. There was this festival in London, big festival. We played in the middle of the day. Do you know what? It was in some park.
All Points East.
Yeah, All Points East. That was like summer or something. Yeah, when we played there was weird because it was not so many people, but it was the stage was crazy and like, oh shit, from the punk stages to this. That was the first time I thought like, holy shit, it can be something.
Before thinking, this could be something,
Wow.
was it kind of just another band that you loved being in?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more, because it was like the first band I felt that could be like really be something bigger than the other bands that I played in.
Was that something that you could talk openly to Sebastian or the other members, like being like, yeah, like fuck it, why not? Let's do this shit, see what happens.
Yes, very much. Like we talked about it for at least last 3 years. Last 3 years, I think we have said that. Yeah, fuck it, let's do this.
Has it happened yet where you've been asked to kind of, I don't know, not maybe compromise your vision or compromise something you've wanted to do because maybe someone else doesn't like it? Someone like, for example, a record label, or I don't know, anyone else who can help you, sustain yourself?
No, the record label we are on. It's based here in Stockholm. Year One, a friend of ours who has it, and he's our manager as well. So, but no, we haven't compromised with anything. I would say we just do the music we want, and
yeah, brilliant. And does it feel like you've kind of carved out, specific fans? You're not to do with a particular scene. I mean, to me anyway.
No,
it's Viagra Boys. It's its own thing.
No, I think we just do music. The music we just want to do that day. It could be anything. I guess you can hear that on the new record, and we recorded another record that's coming out sometime in the future. And we just do
a third one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Corona. What can you do?
Great.
Except working and write more music.
Fuck yeah! So it comes quick, does it? The music?
Yeah, sometimes. The one we coming out now, the Welfare Jazz. That was a little bit tougher to write, I guess.
How come?
Because we toured a lot.
Yeah.
When you're touring, you get sick of music in somehow. So that was a little bit tougher to get the inspiration to do that. But it worked out pretty well in the end.
Did you feel any pressure making it?
Yeah, a little bit, I guess, in the beginning, as well as be like, oh, what are we gonna do now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to step it up, kind
of.
Yeah,
exactly. Or okay, yeah.
Which sounds kind of stupid to say, but it's for the art, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you can come up with ideas like, oh, we should do more dancey music or la la la. But then I guess you just have to go back to the roots, to figure out and not try to be as just to let the music be what it is. That makes
Yeah.
any meaning.
No, I do understand though, because there's so much outside shit, and as you know, having done the logistics
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and people are, I don't know, expecting stuff from you.
And that's a weird position to be in.
Yeah, very, very weird. And I think you have to think when you start writing music that like especially when you tour a lot, it's easy to get lost in whoever what the band is and whoever you are or what like that. You gotta get back to what it is about.
How can you do that? Like, are there any specific things that help you remember what it is?
To me, it's just think, you know, think like in what way are Viagra Boys the best? Like to me, we're pretty. I think we're pretty good live.
Yeah.
When we just play. So that's like, yeah, we gotta bring to make our strength as a band. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, totally. So I like listening, it's like, I completely understand it, because I think bands maybe on their second or third album think, let's be different, let's change.
Yeah.
Um,
But why change?
yeah,
You can,
for real.
or you can change, but it's still gotta be good.
I often think that some of my favorite records by particular artists, someone's specific back catalogue,
Yeah.
it might sonically sound different, but there's like a nuance, there's like an energy, a common energy, it's like it's coming from this idea or this feeling.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But I think that's one of the Sebastian, when he write the lyrics, that's one of his best thing. That is always some kind of humor involved in the lyrics.
If you're like going to hardcore shows or punk shows, your friends might be taking themselves quite seriously, and then you get wrapped up in that, like we all do.
Yeah.
in different parts of life, whether it be a relationship or a job or where you live, we all have the ability to get quite serious about ourselves.
You shouldn't get too serious about yourself. In the end, we all gonna die. Fun is the best part of life.
Did you have to adjust yourself or adjust the way that you were organizing yourself, like with your friend and with your label? Were there any periods of time where you were like, oh shit, what are we doing? Do we have to get organized now?
Yeah, I guess you maybe have to cut down on the drugs and stuff like that. If that's a part of organizing yourself.
Young Lean is on the label, and I saw that interview with him where he was like, I don't want to get high anymore all the time.
No, I totally understand him, because it's tough to get high all the time if you're gonna be playing bigger shows and stuff like that and don't fuck everything up. It's impossible to get high and get fucked up. It usually never works in the end. In the long run, it's tough to. I guess for Viagra Boys as well, we were a lot of like, it was a lot of drugs in the beginning. Like a big part of Viagra Boys was like taking speed and saying fuck off, like Motorhead, or that was a big influence. We're gonna be like Motorhead, like we're gonna be outsiders, hating society and taking drugs. But then it comes to a point when you're playing bigger and bigger shows, and if things start to get a little bit more serious, you can't do it. If you're not Lemmy and want to write the same record over and over and over again, and sitting at a bar in LA, and I don't know, that's a choice you have to make.
It reminds me of that Joe Strummer quote where Joe Strummer's like, anyone can go out there and punch someone, but it takes real guts to sort of take a good look at yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it a similar situation in Viagra Boys where you were like, fuck, let's figure it out, let's grow up a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to each and every one. But for me, it was more my whole life as well as Viagra Boys. like, you know, I turned 40 this year, so it was like, if I want to have a family, I can't keep on living like this. So it's a choice you want to make. You want to you want to be alone, or you want to like have a family. Then you spend all your money and you're talking about the same thing that you talked, and nothing happens. You know, you just talk about you're gonna record that songs 15 times when you're drunk and high before you're gonna do it. So it's better to just do it.
And now you've got a third album ready.
Yeah, more or less. Soon there'll be a fourth.
Have you got strategy, a plan for the upcoming albums?
No, this Welfare Jazz is coming out now in 8th of January.
It's funny nowadays with the internet, a specific release date seems to mean a little bit less.
Yeah.
There's a lot of online shit that everyone has to do.
How do you mean?
Promoting the album, you know.
Online, on Instagram and on Facebook.
Do you do that yourself?
No. Or maybe some of it. I don't do it. I'm 40. I'm like a boomer. What do you call him?
Yeah, boomer, yeah.
I'm a 40-year-old carpenter. What kind of boomer can you get? I don't even know how to put a picture on Instagram.
That's how people find out about bands now, you know?
Yeah, but Spotify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
That's great if you want to listen to music. Maybe not if you want to make money from music, but...
Is that something that you talk about and the label talks about? Like, is that kind of, you know, it's pretty bullshit. You don't get paid, really.
No, I guess you get much more paid when they, you know, before internet from selling records. But no, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess it's great for, if you want to, for me as well, when I listen to music, I can discover a lot of new music and I don't have to buy all the records. It is what it is.
No one's going to be able to fight it. It's too big to fight. There's no point.
I usually listen to that Discovery weekly list. I think it's great. Usually I've heard the most of the stuff, but occasionally there comes a song that I haven't heard before, and it's really good. Then it's great.
I love it when there's that one album that maybe, you know, a family member suggested like 15 years ago, and then it comes to your mind.
When it comes up on Discovery Weekly, and you suddenly realize that you were wrong.
Are you quite good at thinking about what's next? You know, the next thing you have to do, you know, treating the band like a job, I suppose.
Yeah, always. That's how I go forward. For me, forward is everything, you know, so you don't, you can stop and look back, but don't get stuck in the past or get stuck in the whatever. You gotta look forward all the time, like do next thing. You know, you gotta, if you want to do like an album, the best thing how to start to doing it is to make to book a studio. In 3 months, you book a studio time. And then you have to work from there.
It is quite hard to work without an end goal, isn't it?
It's impossible. Then you just, you know, now we do it another day, or, nothing's ever going to happen.
But I suppose the risk is always like, we all know that rushing records sometimes is a bad idea as well.
But I mean, it can be good as well. I think everything doesn't have to be the best as well, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you writing music is or recording music and is an experience in itself, you know, like a journey in, like that you learn from doing. Yeah, we did this and it became like this, and you did that and became like that, and yeah, so.
Where did you make this new record, the third one?
We recorded in a studio out in the countryside here in Sweden. Was
it with the same people that made Welfare Jazz?
No, it was just a technician, studio technician. So
on Welfare Jazz, did you have a producer?
Yeah, the two Pelle Gunnefelt and Daniel Fagerström. They produced the Streetworms as well.
Cool.
So they're friends of ours, and yeah, it was great.
On the third one, what made you think, fuck it, let's just do it ourselves?
I don't know. We wanted to try it, and we wanted to try out to just do it ourselves, and we rehearsed a lot before we recorded that one. So it's gonna sound a little bit more live.
Cool.
Because that's, I think, that's nice. I think we're pretty good at the live show thing, so so try to bring that forward. Like Welfare Jazz, maybe a little bit more produced, I think.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, have you heard it?
Not the full thing, just the singles, but you can tell.
Yeah. But that's very nice as well.
Pops out the speakers,
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah, but but I mean, that's the part of it. Like when recording and doing albums is like a journey to do them in different ways and learn from that journey or the experience, and it becomes like art.
Well, Benke, thank you so much for being up for this chat.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to you coming over again.
Sometime next year.
Yeah, you would have built someone a house by then.
Yeah.
3 houses.
4 houses.
So that was Benke from Viagra Boys. Thank you so much for listening to 101 Part-Time Jobs. Please let people know about this show. Please spread the word. Please tell your friends who might be interested. More listens means we can get more people on the show in the future, and more chats and more stories to archive. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Benke and Viagra Boys for letting this happen. Here's Cocksparrow. Cheers.
I've been working all day for me mate on the side, running around like a blue-ass fly. I've been working all day for me mate. Every bleeding minute I've been on the go, up and down the ladder like a fiddler's elbow. I've been working all day for me mate.
This is a Mighty Moon Media podcast.